Hello, welcome to Dragon King 72 Media LLC. Thank you all for my new subscribers, the few that I have. Um, but today is October the 17th, 2025, and I wanted to talk to you all about something. Um, y'all know I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith. I think he is very problematic. I think he is a grifter. And like I said in my previous video, which is a short, had the now former Vice President Kamala Harris, had she won, he wouldn't be talking all this nonsense, right? But I think it was Thursday. Well, I saw the broadcast on Thursday. It may have been on the 16th. I'm sorry, may have been on the 15th of October. And News Nation was having a town hall at the Kennedy Center. And Chris Cuomo, of course, was hosting the show, along with, and his guest was Stephen A. Smith and Bill O'Reilly. He's of the defunct fame on Fox. He used to be on Fox. Still kicking, by the way, after all his lawsuits and everything, right? So, uh, Adam Mockler and there was a Charlie Kirk's executive producer came on later on. But um, Stephen A. Smith was on the town hall. And I'm thinking to myself, when they were introduced, does Chris Cuomo have any real media friends? I mean, any real media friends? Because it seems to be that Stephen A. Smith is Chris Cuomo's only media friend. I mean, we know he had a fallout with Don Lemon. I don't think they've spoken outside of, when Chris Cuomo had left, and he said that he didn't feel like Don Lemon defended him or was there for him or whatever, and then Don Lemon was let go based on him redirecting the question that wasn't even something that he said. He was getting the ladies who they had moved him to the morning show. He was getting the ladies, I guess, opinion on a conversation that he didn't create. He was only reiterating that conversation. And you can debate whether or not he should have asked it differently or what have you. But anyway, so yeah, like, is Stephen A. Smith, that loudmouth, obnoxious man, is he Chris Cuomo's only media friend? I mean, because if that's the case, brother, you need to branch out. You need to branch out, Chris Cuomo, and get more media friends. Because right now, the two of you are two peas in a pod, And so Stephen A. I didn't see the first part of the show. I only saw the second part. But what I noticed was that Stephen A. Smith, when Adam Mockler and the executive producer of Charlie Kirk's show, or his podcast, when I saw Adam Mockler was having a discussion with Charlie Kirk's executive producer when he had his podcast, they were having real political conversations. Adam Mockler, 23, was having a real political conversation with somebody who was probably in their 30s, right? And he was handling the brother. He was handling him extremely well. No, nothing disrespectful, but he was letting them know, you got the right one today, right? So here's the thing. Stephen A. Smith was out of the conversation at that point. Bill O'Reilly was trying to moderate how the two of them, he was moderating the conversation when it got started between the two of them, because he was asking them where they get their news sources. And, Adam told him, I read articles. Adam kept stressing the fact that he read articles. He watches all the different pundit shows to get a better overall picture of what's going on. And I can guarantee you that the Charlie Kirk's old executive producer probably only watches Fox or News Nation, the actual network that was producing and broadcasting the News Nation town hall at the Kennedy Center. But when it came to Stephen A. Smith, when I tell you, when I tell you that there was no conversation, when I tell you there was no conversation coming from his end, the man had looked like, okay, this is not my world for real. And Stephen A. Smith, I want to say to you, brother, we know it's not your world. When I saw you up on the stage when Adam and the other gentleman was getting into it, and Adam was hitting him with them facts and all of that, and asking the man questions like, do you condemn this behavior that those young Republicans were talking about in that text, talking about watermelon, black people or watermelon people, talking about Latinos need to be deported, they're this, they're that, they were being Zionists. You know, the dude didn't he didn't condemn it. He said he wanted to hear what exactly. Are you kidding me? I mean, but I said all that because, you know, Adam was bringing it to his attention. But again, you know that Stephen A. Smith ain't got shit to say because he knows that he was out of his league. And the fact that Chris Cuomo and other folks still are giving Stephen A. Smith this fucking platform is fucking amazing to me. It is fucking amazing to me. But I'm not really surprised so much because we live in a world where people like Stephen A. Smith, if you talk loud enough, if you continue to be obnoxious enough, you will be seen in places you otherwise would not be seen. You know, that's just the reality of it. And I think with Stephen A. Smith, you know, I don't believe, and here's my prediction. I was going to save it for TikTok, but I'll do it here. I might do it over to TikTok too. Here's my prediction. Stephen A. Smith, I'm predicting that man, and I'm never wrong when it comes to my intuition, he will be involved in a scandal. He will be involved in a scandal in just a certain amount of time. In just a certain amount of time, he will be involved in the biggest scandal. There won't be any more contracts of whatever that 100 or 80 million after taxes, after he's paid his agents and managers and, you know, did all the rest of the stuff. After he's done all that, you know, there will be a scandal coming for, I predicted, for Stephen A. Smith. It's just, there's something about it. There's something that was on my mind. And so that this man was going to, this is going to happen. This is definitely going to happen to Stephen A. Smith. He's not going to get another contract. I predict whatever's getting ready to happen, he's going to be very humbled. Stephen A. Smith is going to be very humbled. He's going to be very humbled when this happens. There won't be another huge contract, you know, because his grift moment will be over. His grift moment will be over. His grift moment will be over. And I believe that he's going to ask for some kind of, you know, trying to get back in the good graces of a lot of black media and a lot of black people who he pretty much distances himself from once Kamala Harris lost. I predict that when this happens, he will go on Roland Martin trying to explain himself and his grift, you know, of trying to get money, you know, from, or trying to be in the good graces of right wing, the right wing demographic in our society. You know, I believe that is going to happen. That's what I'm predicting. It's a feeling I have. It's going to happen because it's just the way his energy, he puts out his energy, the way he is moving, it is bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way around it. And I just have that feeling. But again, when Stephen A. Smith was on that stage, when the real intellect started talking, Adam Mockler and whoever this dude is that uh, formerly executive produced or maybe still executive producing the Turning Point um, podcast, you can look. I looked immediately over at Stephen A. Smith. He was out of his league. Bill O'Reilly was just being his old ass self. Chris Cuomo, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a tool. He's a piece of work. You know what I'm saying? He says he's about fairness, and he said the News Nation is about where both sides can come together and be honest and okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying, brother? It don't track with what you've been saying it don't track with what you've been saying for the last 6 months. You know what I'm saying? You've all but you know you know you were definitely on that MAGA train until you saw what Donald Trump was doing. Come on, dude. Come on, you were definitely on that MAGA train until you started seeing within the last 4 months or so what Trump has been doing and how he's been doing it. So we knew come February, March you were full in with the whole MAGA initiation. It was only within the last month or two, I'd say September, July, you started to say, oh no, this may not be the right thing for me. So that's where we at. So stop lying. But anyway, like I said, Stephen A. Smith is a joke. And why do we still giving this man the platform? I mean, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. Like we're giving this man a platform to be obnoxious, you know, while he's just out here. It's a whole, the man is a whole problem. I don't know why we're still, people like him, but like I said, there's always going to be a place for people like Stephen A. Smith, because as long as you are obnoxious and loud, you'll always have a platform. And somebody like him, if he understands, come on, he understands how to grift. He understands how to grift, meaning, grifting is his method of payment. Come on. And like I've said, if the former Vice President Kamala Harris had won and became President of the United States, I guarantee you, this Stephen A. Smith we're getting now is not the Stephen A. Smith. He's always been loud and obnoxious, but it's intensified about a million times over now that he knows that he can make more money on this MAGA era that we're in. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Because when this is over with, and I strongly believe that Donald Trump and his party and these Republicans, these MAGA folks, are going to try and make sure that they do something where they're going to extend his term, or do something where the voting is going to be a huge problem. But when it does end, it will end. And I'm gonna say this again: if Donald Trump, his party, not Chris Cuomo, but Kristi Noem, Pat Bondi, Tim Miller, Bannon, and all the rest of the folks, if they are not charged with crimes against humanity, which Netanyahu should be too, and this is not me being anti-Semitic, I just believe he should be charged with crimes against humanity too. If these individuals are not charged with crimes against humanity in 2029 or right thereafter, 2028 or 9, then we know that the world is truly effed up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, put on your notifications. I appreciate you.